Hello, fans of plebeian racing. Welcome or welcome back to the channel. We are here in beautiful Calgary at Race City Motorsport Park for the fourth round of our Cup Runneth over. Oh, wait, third round, not fourth. Me no count good. It's a beautiful summer day, little hazy, but we'll manage. 13 drivers tonight, trying to negotiate a track that is new to just about everyone, and it was new to me before this season. We're just now getting underway with qualifying, everybody getting their out lap taken care of. We will now... yes, there's the view of the track that I wanted to show. It's been a while. Cut me some slack, man. Beautiful drone cam over Calgary. As everybody gets used to this interesting track mod. This is available on Race Department. It was something of a labor of love by someone who grew up with the track, watched races with his dad here. I don't recall from the story on the mod page whether this track still exists. Or whether it has gone to that great track map in the sky. But it's been lovingly restored in digital form. And we have brought the Porsche Cup cars here to hopefully enjoy it. It's tough to learn a new track. It's very tough to learn a new track in this car. So it will be an adventure. Of particular interest will be this chicane here. In the midfield, we see a couple of folks having some difficulties with the giant sausage curbs on the inside. You definitely can't straight line it. You can try, but you tend to turn your car into a bicycle, or worse, an airplane. But yeah, we'll see how we do tonight. The track won't be particularly crowded. It's a slightly smaller field than we're used to, but hopefully put on a good show for you this evening at this new to us track. We'll see if anybody ever wants to come back to it. Maybe some griping depending on how these races go, but hopefully we'll have a good time and enjoy ourselves and be back for many more. I am here not in a Porsche Cup car this evening, but in the beautiful Plebeian Racing Mobile Broadcast Center, bringing you all the action live from trackside. We'll bring the displays up. Oh, we have 14 drivers now. Andreas has joined us. Let's follow somebody around here. We'll go with James Leader in the beautiful green Blue Gang livery. Here, Arteaga. Oh, battle with the curbs has gone badly. It's going to be the story of the evening, I think. It's getting used to that chicane. Martin Smith in that gorgeous tricolore swirl. His livery game has really been stepping up. He's had some really cool designs in the last several seasons on SRS and now over here. Jumping to the top of the board, VKR. Half a second ahead. Tyler Jason Lavallee in second. The two drivers who did not spend any time making custom liveries have instead spent their time practicing, obviously. They're really getting it. At Kevin Woodward in 8th place. Currently getting used to the track. John Crane in 7th, just ahead. And that beautiful Rothman's reminiscent number 6. Don Dibian in 9th. Oh, Martin's off again. He's brochuring. What a beautiful picture of that car. He's just on display. Look at that. I mean, you can't pose better than that on purpose. But there you go. Don jumping to 7th place. Only 2 seconds off the pace. Kevin off. And back to the pits. Don appropriately clad in the Canadian plaid lumberjack livery for this Canadian track. Speaking of Canadian, Saucepan Willie, he's off in the grass at the moment. Currently standing in 8th place. Gosh, wonder if he's from Canada. I love his liveries. They're always... He has these... I am Canadian. He has these very classic-looking or vintage-looking liveries with a stylized sort of 67 on the side and some, Canadian red accents on a mostly white car. He's run a lot of those, and it just looks stunning. Going a bit more over the top for this season. Works very nicely on there. Smoke in the 133. Ooh, getting a little loose there. Going through these S's. Coming up to the chicane now. And he makes it through there skillfully. Like he's done it before or something. It's going to be a very careful thing to get through there. Here's Andreas Specht in a 913. Learning a new track like this, especially in a difficult car. Oh, Andreas is... he saved it. That was incredible. Wow, he's really wheeling it there. Well done. Randy Finnegan sitting in the pits, gathering his courage to take this place on. 929 car of Brandon Williams. Wait a minute, wasn't he... Didn't he have a livery last week? Am I imagining things? That's weird. I thought he had a livery. Did I miss it? Oh well. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. James Leader taking the agricultural route through the infield. Thanks to Shader's Patch, these do mow the grass quite effectively. Race at the front, closing up here. VKR only a 10th ahead of Tyler Jason Lavallee, who sadly throws this lap away. He'll come around for another. Jeremy Mercer just crossing the line. Less than half a second off, as is Peter O'Brien. Oh, VKR with a disconnect. Hopefully he'll be back. Peter O'Brien in the Cookie Monster car. This is our second Cookie Monster livery habit. Ooh, very close, if not infinitely close to the wall there. Of course, Sagar Bakshi with his Cookie Monster Tsunami liveries. It's a fan favorite for a while. So we see Martin Smith. Ooh, giving it 105% through the chicane there. Manages to keep it on the black stuff. VKR back in the server with less than a minute to go. It's VKR in the lead. A 10th back is Lavallee. Then Mercer, O'Brien, Smith. Leader off again. 1.3 seconds back. Then Jorge. Kevin Smoke. John Crane, Don Debian, Saucepan Willie. Leading the PSR contingent to glory. James Leader also in the pits, waving off any further attempts at a lap. Oh, he's disconnected. Will hopefully return. Hope his VR isn't giving him troubles. Jeremy Mercer is up in Sector 1, trying to gain about 3/10 here on this last lap. See if he can do it. We'll go on board for his trip through the chicane. Tick, tick, tick. Running the electric engine, apparently. Oh, there we go. We can hear him just a little bit. Sound in this game is tricky. I can never tell whether it's my wacky headset or the game being weird or what. Oh, there we go. It was my headset this time. This exit onto the front straight. The front straight here is a drag strip, and you have to kind of weasel your way through the drag strip access, and the pit lane is right there, and it doesn't look like you're going the right way. It looks like it's going to throw you into the pits, but you just sort of follow your nose and end up on the track. It's a bit of a weird final corner here. It very much looks like you're going into the pits, but then you just kind of sneak out onto the front straight. Peter O'Brien setting his best lap. 1:08.9 brings him up to third. Jorge with the exit. He'll be our final time setter. Doesn't look like he's going to better his position. He's going to stay on a 1:09.4. James Leader back in seventh. Not used to being in the midfield. Kevin Woodward still not back on the server. Hopefully he makes it. Oh, wait. Maybe just returned. He just, no, maybe not. Yow. Folks going out for some extra practice time, and I can't blame them for wanting a little bit more seat time on a pretty tough and challenging course. Very technical in places. And maybe not so friendly to a car like this, which is kind of tough to stay on top of. So it'll be interesting to see how folks cope with a new track that maybe isn't the ideal choice for this particular car. Whoa, Brandon. Is he going to save it? No, not quite. And that is the end of qualifying. Here are your standings. VKR in first. Tyler Jason Lavalley in second. Peter O'Brien third. Jeremy Mercer fourth. Martin Smith fifth, followed by Jorge Arteaga. Arteaga? I'm going to screw that up all night, aren't I? James Leader, Kevin Smokey, John Crane, and Don Debian. In the back of the field, Saucepan Willie, Brandon Williams, Andrea Specht, Kevin Woodward, Randy Finnegan, and, of course, your fearless leader. Well, I can't say fearless leader because I'm not racing tonight. I'm sitting here instead. We're going to jump in. I'm going to warp the van off the track because we don't want a repeat of what happened to us at Mugello. That was hilarious, but not an ideal way to start the race. So let's take a little grid walk here. We got the two stock liveries here on the front row, VKR and Tyler Jason Lave. Then Peter O'Brien, Jeremy Mercer, Martin Smith, Jorge Arteaga, James Leader and Kevin Smokey, John Crane and Don Debian, Saucepan Willie, and Brandon Williams cocked his wheel to the right. He better fix that before he gets started. Andrea Specht in the 913 and Randy Finnegan in the back. We're going to zoom the drone up here to the front. Get a nice view of the start of the race. We're still over a minute to go. It's an interesting course. I can't help but notice that Dave Martin is not in the server. Huh, how about that? That's weird. But yeah, good looking field. There's no gantry over the start line. Weird. All right, we're under a minute now. I'm going to insert the card here for Race 1 start because we are about to start Race 1. That's why we have the card for Race 1 start. Funny thing about that. We are getting ready to go here. Lights are coming on. The revs are rising. The crowd is not rendered tonight. But here we go. 20 minutes for Race 1 around Race City Motorsport Park, Calgary, and away they go. Green flag and we're racing. 4 wide down the straight. Somebody getting squeezed against the wall there. And I can't switch cameras fast enough. There we go. 3 wide down to T1. Sorted that out nicely. TJ going up. Oh, Martin Smith with a dive bomb. Sending VKR onto the grass. He's not going to be too happy about that. Martin Smith also losing out there. Oh, we've got a car going wide. Also, that is, I think, Andres. Yes, in the other plain liveried car. Chaos on lap 1 leads Jeremy Mercer to take the lead. And he is off and running for Vroom Car Drive. TJ holds on to second with Peter O'Brien giving chase in third as they head over the curbs for the first time. Oh, Peter not contending with him very well. It took a long time for the rear end to come around on that car, but he has eventually lost his handle on that one. He will be sent to the back. Kevin Woodward not returning to the server in time for the start. That is unfortunate. Here we go to complete lap 1, and Jeremy Mercer is your race leader. Across the line for the first time. Randy Finnegan falling victim to VKR on his comeback drive. Andreas Specht with a little bit of lag showing on the tower, but that's fine. Oh, James Lear getting overtaken here by Smoke. Coming back on the outside. Through the S's leading into the south hairpin. And now coming back up to the death chicane. Baby death chicane. Here they come. Single file towards the curbs. A bit more conservative this time. Everybody making it through. Got Randy and Don here in the back of the picture. Saucepan Wheelie giving chase, and Peter O'Brien making his comeback drive. James Leader and Smoke still battling. We got Brandon Williams in there as well. In the orange and black, can't beat that. Martin Smith making a comeback through the field. Fastest laps of the race being set. Purple down the line. Of course, this is lap 2, so you might expect that. And the last across the line is the first on the timing chart, 109.8. Brandon Williams sending it on James Leader. Doesn't get... Oh, a little bit of a love tap there coming through the south chicane. Or south hairpin. Blah, 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 blah. Brain, no worky good. Big gap forming between the top 3 and the rest of the pack as this fight continues. Peter O'Brien working his way back up. VKR now in 10th place as well. Back through the chicane. Oh, a whole lot of Porsche motorcycles on this lap, but everybody making it through again. This battle for 4th place still intense. Peter O'Brien now up to 12th past Don Debian. James Leader and Brandon Williams still fighting. Oh, James getting squeezed against the tires there. Brandon going far out the other way. Martin Smith looking for an opportunity to capitalize on the poor exit. And this will become a 3-way fight. Let's go on board with Martin. Look at that rear view mirror full of Porsches. This is not going to be easy. Oh, Brandon Williams falling off the pace, as is John Crane. Let's see what's happening to these guys. They may have had a meeting of the bumpers. Less than half a second between the 2 leaders who are pulling away. Jerry Mercer enjoying the clear track, but the full mirror. We have a strong Canadian contingent here tonight. Will they have home field advantage? This tight final corner. And then deceptive right. Back onto the front straight. That wall just jumps out and bites you if you're not careful. 2 more purple laps from the leaders. TJ seeming content to just sort of ride around in second for the moment. And not rock the boat too much. VKR making it back up through the field. Martin Smith up to 6th. James Leader holding on to that 5th spot. Oh, here, Arteaga in the... Oh, that's Penguin. Arteaga? Penguin, you gotta make me fix that. I'm sorry. Falling down on my duties to pronounce people's names correctly. Chad, help me out. I'm just going to call him Penguin so I don't screw it up anymore. It seems like a friendlier thing to do than to mispronounce somebody's name for an hour. James Leader over the curbs. Holds onto the car. 3 wide with Specht and Smith down the back straight. This cannot continue for long. He gives it up to Specht around the outside. Martin Smith hanging in there in 7th as they come through the little twisty section back onto the front straight. Narrowly avoiding the sucker punch of the pit wall there. Nice fight here between, let's see, who's that? That is Brandon and VKR. They are side by side heading down to turn 1. And the S is leading down to the south hairpin. Whoa, Brandon very squarely over the curbs. Holds onto the car and the place. That being 8th. VKR, our pole sitter, still trying to fight his way back through the field after that lap 1 incident. It has been all Mercer and Lavallee in the front. Penguin 3rd. And a 9-second gap now. Back to 4th. And oh my! That is Specht going over the curbs. And not enjoying it. He is getting back on the field. James Leader also either distracted or caught up in that incident. He has lost the position to Smith. The camera there at the exit of the chicane. Not ideal. VKR again. Oh, going off there fighting with Williams. This is a race, folks. Peter O'Brien again getting by Randy. Oh no! Randy a little over exuberant there on the throttle. Sending the rear end around. He's got to wait for Saucepan Willie to go by. Thank you, Randy. And away they go. Smith and Leader still battling. This is for 5th place now. Smoke enjoying a bit of a reprieve as Leader has been distracted by this battle coming up from behind him. Brandon Williams has recovered. Still battling VKR there. As they go through the dash chicane. O'Brien and Debian still battling. Wondering if Peter is suffering from a little bit of damage in that car. He's certainly not been charging through the field, very, very methodically picking his way through. Fast laps personally for Smoke and Martin Smith there. I don't think those are fastest laps of the race. Those are just fastest times for those drivers. The purple color overselling it on the timing tower just a little. VKR finally making the pass, maybe. Is Brandon going to have enough to come back at him? We shall see going through the south hairpin. It is VKR holding on to 7th place. Oh, a little bit of a lock up there, heading into the larger S's. Getting a little bit of a spread. Oh, hello. I say that, but then these two are right together. Let's go on board with TJ. Still a bit of a gap. Hi, me. As the van goes streaking by on the right. Let's ride along for a lap with our 2nd place driver. Looking ahead to the leader. Easing it into this first set of corners. Down to the hairpin. All the way to 2nd gear. Carefully back on the throttle and then easing it into the larger set of S's. Very different lines from these two drivers. Setting up differently for the upcoming corners. To be so subtle with this car. Through the dash chicane and onto the back straight. Exit critical here. He's getting a little bit of slipstream. Within 3/10 now. A little bit of a kink now to a very deceptive left. And another left, and another left, all decreasing in radius down to a sort of a weird offset hairpin. And then a harder right than you think. And an exit that does not let you climb that curb very effectively. And that is a lap of Race City Motorsport Park, Calgary. It's pretty technical out there. This battle for the lead continues. We have another 4 cars crossing the line here. VKR in the back of this pack, consisting of Leader, Smith, and Smoke. VKR going for the position up the inside. James concedes, but VKR very offline coming into the hairpins. He's gathered it up nicely. Again, very different lines from all the drivers as they approach the S's. Still trying to get a handle on how to take this course. Sighting out different lines, different approaches as we come into the death chicane again. Martin Smith over the curbs hard. Smoke over them harder, and this is going to be a 3 wide. BKR not going to test it. We come through the triple left towards the end of the lap, still nose to tail. Come to the final corner and through pit entry onto the front straight. Martin Smith has a mirror full of opponents. Skip one back here to James Leader. Go back on board to watch the fun side by side are Smoke and VKR. Resolves again in favor of our pole sitter. The very not blue interior of the Blue Gang car, number 13. Ooh. Oh, this is getting good. Through the curbs again, and Smoke. Big wiggle, and has he gathered it up? No, he has not. He is off in the grass. Just a little bit too aggressive through the death chicane. Speaking of aggressive, VKR looking to the inside of Martin Smith. Still single file for now. Martin with a little bit of a wiggly exit coming out of the front straight. That may give VKR the advantage of a better exit from the corner and a better starting speed with which to accelerate down the front straight to this first complex of corners at the south end of the course. Into the hairpin again. James Leader hanging right with them. This is the battle for 4th place. Podium positions still pretty far ahead, and in fact, Jeremy Mercer has opened a 3-second gap now on level A. Smoke all the way to the back of the field. His woes continue. So we head back to this 4th place battle. Oh, Brandon Willis with a huge drift out of the death chicane. Well done. Folks, this is a race. This is fun times. VKR still trying to find a way to get around Martin Smith. He couldn't do it last lap, but he is closer behind. Saucepan Willie is off, but invisible. Oh, he is up against the tires and has pitted. Out of this race, we'll see if he returns for race 2. Hopefully he will. So we come back to the battle for 4th place. Martin Smith holding on for now. James Leader with a big wiggle coming out of the hairpin. Into the S's. VKR filling the mirrors of Martin Smith. Through the left-hander leading to the death chicane. Martin very aggressive over the bumps. I don't think that's going to work out for him, and it hasn't. He saves it from the tire barrier, but he has lost those places, and now VKR has clear track ahead. James Leader following him through into 5th place. A costly gambit for Martin Smith, trying to be just a little bit too aggressive with those curbs. And his empire has crumbled. Smoke making a position by continuing around the track. Seems he may have warped to pits at some point and lost a lap. These are gaps from first on the timing tower. Things have now settled down after that bold move from Martin has set him back. With 4 minutes to go now. James Leader will have his workout out for him. I know VKR is going to be trying his best to get up to the podium positions, but they are a ways up the road. Peter O'Brien on his recovery drive, still in 8th place with Andreas, a very fast driver ahead of him. This is going to be the battle to watch in the next few laps, I think, as these are two very fast, very skilled drivers. We'll go on board with Peter. In the beautifully cookie dough colored interior. Andreas with a bit of a moment there approaching the north hairpin. Peter matching him with a big slide through. Oh, and Martin Smith is off. Martin Smith off at the entry to the front straight. Narrowly avoided by Brandon Williams, who takes 8th place. Oh, the world has come apart for Martin Smith in the last lap. Randy Finnegan off again. Or perhaps for the first time, sorry. Hopping back onto the back straight after an agricultural adventure. O'Brien still trying to catch Andreas Specht. Also have John Crane now only a second behind Martin Smith. A big mistake from Andreas puts him into Peter's clutches, but they are approaching the death chicane. Who will be safer and more aggressive? I think Andreas got the better exit there. He seems able to hold on to 6th place as they go down the back straight into this very weird complex of 3 completely different left-hand corners. The slow north hairpin and back onto the front straight. Both taking the exit very wide there over the curb and through the sand. To grandmother's start-finish line we go. And it's Specht maintaining 6th place with 2 minutes to go. And the gap widening down the straight, at least in distance, but perhaps not in time. Again, very different lines from the various drivers, just trying to learn this place with some very squirrely machinery under them. Peter with a nice drift through the hairpin. We have this battle to watch, but also Martin Smith. Oh, he's off. No, that's Brandon off again. Not sure if he's got some damage there. He's very slow on the exit and rolling to a stop. That car seems wounded. But we'll come back up to Peter now. With under a minute remaining, we have Jeremy Mercer still leading by only 2.5 seconds. That gap has reclosed. TJ making up lots of time there. Exiting again, Peter. Big wiggle. Can't hold the speed onto that straight. This is likely to be the last lap of the race. We have the leader approaching the death chicane with TJ right on his heels. Oh, big hit on the curbing there. Sends the car up on 2 wheels, but he gathers it up again. Penguin sort of all by himself. Randy behind him is a lap down. We're going to follow the leader. He is going through the south chicane, or the north chicane rather, onto the front straight for the final time. This is your winner of the race. Well, maybe not. There's 1 more lap to go. They made it around. So he's got to hold on for 1 more lap, Jeremy Mercer. Enjoying the clear track ahead. We'll go on board with 2nd place. Now the clock is expiring. They outpaced my expectations. Oh, a big... Trying so hard to stay with the leader. And that rear end just wants to be in front. These Porsche Cup cars just... It seems like they feel unnatural driving with the rear end behind you. And around it nearly goes. That may be the winning battle decided, but we'll keep an eye on it. He's still only 2 seconds back. It looks like a big gap now, but they're on a very long straight. We'll head back to the leader, and now that time has actually expired, and I'm paying a little bit more attention. Crazy broadcast man. Now we see the exit onto the front straight for the final time. And your actual winner, Jeremy Mercer across the line with Tyler Jason Lavallee in second. Penguin coming through, whoa, with a big wag of the tail in third place. VKR from the pole to the back and back to fourth. A heroic recovery drive for this man. He returns just off the edge of the podium for fourth place. James Leader close behind in fifth. Andreas has held on to sixth place. Peter O'Brien falling back, just trying to keep the car on the track for this one. And Martin Smith exiting for the final time onto the front straight, comes home in eighth place, with John Crane and Don Debian close together, rounding out the top 10 in this, what was a 15-driver field, but winnowed down to now 13. We'll see if Saucepan Willie returns for race 2. VKR has left, perhaps to come back, we hope. We'll see how this goes. I think I might have time for an interview, so I'm going to try and grab your race winner. Let's see. Can I do that? Do I have the permissions to do that? I do. And so without warning, we're going to yoink the winner into the booth. And here is the winner of race 1, Jeremy Mercer. How in the world did you manage to survive that melee at the beginning of the race and find yourself in the lead?
I got a really good start and got the whole shot into turn 1 and didn't have to battle anyone, which I think was the big thing.
Well, I won't say slow and steady because that was definitely a nice jump on the first lap, but it was quite a battle with TJ for most of the race, but just good avoidance, I think, trying to get through that first lap melee with VKR and Martin going a bit aggressively into the first few turns.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened there. Once TJ was right on my tail, I just knew that if I don't make mistakes, there isn't really a way around here. So that's what I was focusing on. And then he ended up making a mistake and falling back. So
yeah, it was nip and tuck. The intervals were opening and closing through the whole race, but you kept it clean, and I think that might be the key. What's the trickiest part of this course besides just learning it in a tricky car?
I mean, the whole course is kind of strange. Probably the biggest thing is how to enter the chicane and how to be fast, because that's where I found the biggest time gain was getting a good exit out of that chicane.
Yeah, it's tricky when the car turns from four wheels into a motorcycle. It's a little tougher to control there.
Yeah.
Well done and well fought. I'll let you get back in the cockpit for race 2.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we are back. I'm still learning how to use push to talk, apparently. But we are going to get resettled here. I'll go ahead and mark the race 2 start because we're about to start race 2. Imagine that. But there is your field for race 1. We're going to reverse the grid. I'm going to warp the van to the pits. And I have done so. Let's see who finds themselves in the lead now. A good-looking grid of cars there. We have Randy in the lead with Don, John Crane, Martin Smith. This will be strange. Martin and Peter and Andreas very quick. James Leader here, VKR as well in the mid-pack. After getting back to the front. This will be a very interesting race. You've got some fast folks who had bad luck in race 1 have found themselves up here at the front. I think Don's got the pace to kind of stay up here for a bit. Randy as well, if he can keep it clean, might surprise some folks and hold on to this for a while. It's got the Buzz and Hornets livery. What a nice livery this is. I'm just gonna sell this for a bit. Did a good job on that one. But yeah, under a minute now to the start. Looks like we're only going to have 13 participants with this race. VKR did come back, so that's good. Woodward did not, nor I think did Saucepan Willie. That's a shame. John Crane has left and returned. Yes, good. He'll be in third place in the Rothmans-esque go-to Foundation for Lung Cancer car there. Lights are coming on. We're going to zoom out here to watch the start as 13 similarly prepared Porsche Cup cars come streaking towards us for the start of race 2. And away they go. Oh, big lag from Randy at the front. Hopefully didn't mess anybody up there. 4 wide down the front straight. And the race is on. Martin Smith instantly to the lead. He has a race to make up for here. Oh, but a big wiggle entering the approach to the south hairpin. 2 by 2 they go. Brandon with a little love tap on the inside of James Leader's car. They're still wheel to wheel going through the S's. Martin Smith doing well to hold on to this car. You've got Smoke in the back now. I think maybe because he was laps down. Let's ride along with him as we see the field ahead go into the death chicane and several people not making it. Oh, and Smoke has been caught up in it. Looks like John Crane has been caught in it. That was a lot of mess going into that. It's kind of unfortunate with these reverse grid races. That's kind of how it goes sometimes. Randy has dumped out to the pits. Tyler feeling out the car there a little bit. John Crane might have some damage. He was broadsided there, we saw from Smoke, who may now have front-end damage as well in the 133. Oh, John has gone off. I think he missed the corner. I don't think that's going to count against him. He should get credit for the lap still. And he does. I don't think there's any sort of track limit there. You just kind of wind your way through. Fight ahead between TJ and Brandon Williams. The 917 there fighting from the back to begin with. I think Brandon got knocked back here in that incident. Meanwhile, Andreas and Martin, frequent foes on SRS, now rivals again at the front of this race with Plebeian. Martin trying to make up for his bad luck in race 1. Opening up a lead here in race 2. Don losing 2 positions there on the approach to the triple left. Caught there between Penguin and Jeremy Mercer, our race 1 winner. Fastest lap of the race so far. Oh, just reset by Jeremy Mercer. So he has still got the pace. We're back with Don as Penguin, looking for a way around into the South S as we go. Around the hairpin. Smoke losing out to TJ there. Up at the front, still half a second as we go through the death chicane. Martin giving it a look, but not too much. Peter O'Brien and James Leader making it through as well. So after that first lap, Smoke looks like he disconnected. I think I saw him just kind of fly through the world there. That's a shame. And then there were 11. The leader's still close. We have Don. Oh, Don is going the wrong way around at the north hairpin, coming back to the end of the lap. This is a very quirky course, and it's, I think, just taking a lot of effort for folks to keep this car on the pavement. Perhaps a slightly easier, slightly slower car would have been a better pick for this course, but we're learning things together here with Plebeian Racing. You can't find new things to like unless you try new things. VKR with a big wiggle trying to chase down James Leader. Let's go on board with Jeremy Mercer to watch this battle from the cockpit of someone who is chasing it. A little bit laggy in Jeremy's car, and oh, it's going wide. They're approaching the hairpin. Oh, and it's still going wide. Rear end very loose on this car. Speaking of loose, James with a big dorifto as he puts the power down to get onto the front straight. Ooh, looking left, looking right, now diving to the inside. Goes Mercer, and he takes the place, jumping up to 5th. Still a little bit wiggly. Perhaps a slight connectivity issue, or maybe it's me, I don't know. Is everybody wiggly? Am I wiggly, chat? Nope, it's him. As he just whoops back towards James Leader, very disconcertingly. You don't want to see that when you're chasing somebody through a very twisty technical course like this. Through the death chicane and over the curb. But everybody manages to survive. This appears to be closest interval on track at the moment, so we'll stick with it. Into the triple left, and oh, VKR very wide in front. These two are going to catch him, and now they're wheel to wheel. Jeremy Mercer sneaking through to take the place. He's up to 4th from the back. Looks like James Leader wants a taste of this action as well. He drops in behind VKR for the draft. We're going to come down the straight here and into the big S's. Around the hairpin. Penguin has caught this group. Five-car battle here for 4th place. As again, we have the podium sort of making a breakaway, and the rest of the field fighting it out for 4th place. Big wiggle there from Jeremy. But these two also dragging it out. Penguin up behind James Leader. And that beautifully liveried number 227. Oh, James going too wide into the grass. Penguin sneaking through to steal the place. 6th place, that is. Very skillful move there. I'm just now noticing how bright the interior accents on this car are. I hadn't noticed this doing the livery review, but very cool. 2 tenths separating leaders now. It looks like Andreas may have had a moment and let these three catch up to him. Peter O'Brien, after an unfortunate race 1, coming back. Looking to the inside, into the S's. Ooh, they managed to make it work, but they're coming up to the death chicane. 2 by 2. Peter O'Brien thinks better of it. They all make it. Oh, they all kind of make it through. Peter hangs on to it. This is a very, very tough course in these cars. But they're doing their best out there. Frequent battle at the top of the charts for PSR. Tyler Jason Lavalley and James Leader. Battling for 7th now. James setting his best lap of the race. Also less than half, well, sort of less than half a second it was between VKR and Jeremy Mercer as they come down to the hairpin. Got a couple of, Penguin may have gone off course there. Didn't quite catch it, but he's lost those 2 positions. And we'll look to make it up here. Got a lot of pairs racing each other. You got Martin and Peter You got Jeremy and VKR. You now have James Leader and TJ. Everybody seems to have paired off with a partner. You have a trio back here with Brandon, John, and Don to decide who finishes the top 10. Big aggressive move from Brandon through the chicane, and does it work out? Well, he lived. But I think at least John and perhaps Don as well will have the pace to pass him. No, not quite. Don couldn't quite make the move there. Still a very interesting three-way battle here. No less hard fought at the back than at the front. Oh, Brandon with a lot of right side damage from earlier. Oh, and Penguin has gone off. He is suddenly a lap down to these guys? No. What? What's going on here? He did not get scored for a lap, I think, because he is still just behind James Leader, but has fallen to the back of the timing. We'll see what happens when they cross the line, but I think there may have been a timing glitch there that has cost our friend Penguin some standing. See if it corrects itself in a moment. Meanwhile, battle for second continues. Oh, John and Brandon both off at the end of the lap, I think this is. Brandon's still off. Oh no, this is coming on. Oh, this is through the death chicane. That makes a certain amount of sense. John Crane has made it down the straight, but Brandon has decided to pack it in for the evening. Still fierce battles up and down the field. Andreas has sort of walked away a little bit from these two, who will not leave each other alone. Martin Smith and Peter O'Brien continue. Oh, Martin Smith with a huge jump over the curbs. Peter slowing down likewise to not get killed, and the two behind them will now make this a fight to watch. We'll go on board with VKR here. A very risky move for Martin there. Did not pay off again, and Peter makes it through, but at the cost of some significant pace. Peter also wagging the tail on the exit. And these two pairs have suddenly become a four-way fight for second place. All within about a second of each other. Mercer pulling out for a pass in the slipstream on Martin Smith, and makes it stick into the S's. Coming towards the south hairpin now, VKR also trying to make a move on Smith, but a big wiggle. And now 6th and 7th have joined the fight. And the northward S's approaching the death chicane. Let's see how everybody approaches this. Martin a bit more conservative this time, just trying to keep it on the track. Peter O'Brien very suddenly a second ahead. Oh, a big lunge from VKR, and he has to slow down and check up, and almost loses the car. A heroic save. These things really try to swap ends when you climb on the brakes. He did very well not to absolutely murder Martin there, or lose himself. But they have lost a second on the cars behind. James Leader setting his fastest lap at a 109.1. Haven't caught what the outright fastest lap of the race is. That's got to be close. You have to be so careful with these things coming on the throttle. On a track like this where exit speed is so important onto these long straights, it's really tempting to just pound your right foot down and hope things go okay. And in this car, they just don't go okay. Martin very slow into the death chicane. I think he's once bitten, twice shy now. And this fight is just going to continue. Oh, Martin very slow into the left, and he has collected VKR. Did TJ make it through? He did. James Leader has made it through. Yeah, I couldn't quite tell. I just switched away from the onboard. Couldn't quite tell whether Martin braked early or VKR broke late, but whatever the case, they definitely disagreed on where to enter that corner, and it has cost them both dearly. And now they sit 6th and 7th instead of 4th and 5th. Jeremy Mercer is quickly catching Peter O'Brien for 2nd place. Mercer seems to have the setup on this car very well dialed in. You could see him switching effortlessly back and forth, left to right. Peter O'Brien, big jump over the curbs. Does it work? Yes, it does. But Jeremy all over the back of him, and he's going to try to make the move here. Maybe not. Just a little peek. Just to let Peter know he's there. Just a little reminder. And low. Brandon has now left of the track. Sorry, buddy. Penguin, in fact, has lost a lap to something. I didn't see whether he entered the pits or simply lost a lap to timing glitches. I think that happened to Kevin in last week's Mazda race, but it seems like this is not an isolated incident, but unfortunately Penguin seems to have lost a lap to timing glitches. We'll see if we can investigate this further post-race and perhaps adjust the scoring. But for now, he sits right in the midst of a battle with Martin and VKR. He's certainly on pace, but he may now be getting blue flags. I'm not sure. He may still think he's on the lead lap, and perhaps he should be. Again, we'll review the replay and see what might have happened. Whatever the case, it's a nice battle on track to watch, with the three of them now heading onto the back straight. VKR, if this timing glitch is there for everybody, he may be getting a little bit impatient with somebody who, for all intents and purposes, is now ignoring blue flags and may not know it. Just gonna, while we're on the subject of Penguin, can we all just admire this livery? Nice swirly paint pattern, the racing stripe. This is a particularly nice one. Just wanted to put that out there. As are all the custom liveries in this series. Everybody seems to have put out a lot of effort for the car designs this season, and it is highly appreciated. Peter O'Brien with the huge Dorifto approaching the death chicane. Does everyone live through it? Oh, a big jump there from Andreas, the leader, getting very aggressive with the curbs, and now may have lost himself the position as Peter O'Brien goes wheel to wheel with him. Jeremy Mercer sitting back and watching. Peter O'Brien not able to make it stick as he drifts into the left at the end of the lap, but now tucks in. Oh, the wide entry has let him tuck into the inside of the hairpin, but it's not enough. And Andreas holds on to the lead. 2.5 minutes to go. That, I think, makes it about 2 laps to go, unless they're very, very quick about it. So this lap and another to end the race. Andreas opening up the lead just a little bit, as Peter, I think, may be distracted with Jeremy behind him. The battle for the lead is now under a second. Well, it was when I started talking. It's still around a second. Through the death chicane once again. 1, 2, 3, 4. A variety of levels of aggression as they go over the curbs there. The camera is providing a slightly strange perspective on the events, but we'll let that go. Onto the front straight. You know, they may get one more in. We'll have to see. This could come down. They've been running 109s, and they crossed the line with 111 to go. We might get a bonus lap right at the end here. Hope everybody has an extra lap of fuel. Dun, dun, dun. We'll see what happens. Andreas Specht with a lot of open track should be able to open this gap up and maybe get another lap in. But does he want to? He may be hoping that that was the white flag, but he can't check up but so much, because then he could fall back into the clutches of Peter O'Brien and Jeremy Mercer, who still would love to take that checkered flag first. Through the S's and down toward the death chicane for maybe the final time, maybe not. 1, 2, 3, 4. Peter O'Brien, very aggressive again, makes it through. Did he lose too much speed with that wiggle? Is Jeremy Mercer going to take him into draft? Not quite, but he's very close. We're going to zoom in here on Specht as he approaches the line. Is he going to get there before time expires? 8, 7, 6. We may get a bonus lap. And we do with 2 seconds to go. That is the white flag, not the checker. And we've got another lap of this action to go. Andreas Specht is cursing his luck because he had it won and now has 2 of the fastest guys in plebeian right behind him. But they're wheel to wheel through the S's. They're going to lose time to him as they approach the south hairpin for the final time. Big wiggles from both drivers. Andreas opening up a gap. Jeremy Mercer not quite through for a second yet. Had a big look, had an opportunity, but couldn't quite capitalize. Peter O'Brien holds on to second there. Folks, this is a race. Nose to tail, second, third, and fourth through the death chicane. Do they all make it? Yes, they do. On board with Lavallée now. Entering the triple rut left. It looks like this may be sorted, folks. Andreas Specht hanging on. Nearly flag to flag, surviving the carnage to win race 2 at Race City Motorsport Park, Calgary. Peter O'Brien, Jeremy Mercer, and Tyler Jason Lavallée in second, third, and fourth. James Leader rather quietly surviving for fifth with Martin Smith, sixth, and VKR seventh after their earlier battle set them back. Dan Debienne coming around for the last time to claim 8th place. Penguin already noted as having finished the race because he was up there battling for track position, but didn't quite have what he thought he did, perhaps. John Crane rounding out the field in the top 10 with 3 casualties earlier. And somebody's car there was utterly broken. Who was that? Trundling around with... Oh, that's Andreas Specht, who's right wrist... Oh, my. Oh, my. Oh, that's... Sir, I think there's something amiss with your vehicle. There we go, and there's the finish of a wild evening at Race City Motorsport Park, Calgary. Me talk good sometimes. I don't think Andreas is in the server, but I would like to steal a moment of Peter O'Brien's time, if I may. So we're going to hop into an interview with him in just a moment once I figure out Discord. No, click on him, and now we do the things, and we drag him into the commentary booth. Hello and welcome, Peter O'Brien. What a race. Holding on for second in race 2. Well done. Oh, sorry. Push to talk. Hey, Peter O'Brien. Well done holding on to second place in race 2. That was a very good, very exciting drive.
Well, I thank you.
A bit of a wild start with the carnage in the death chicane. But how did that battle go from your perspective with Andreas and Jeremy and all those guys?
It was good. I seen at the beginning of the race after the big death chicane murder that there needed to be a gap, and then a 7-second gap grew, and then I almost died a few times, and it was a 0-second gap. Mercer, VKR, and TJ are all very fast anyways in these cars, and I knew that they were going to catch me regardless. Once Mercer caught me, it was play defense and hope that Andreas screws up, and he almost did, and we went too wide multiple times, but couldn't get it done. glad to be able to defend to hold Mercer behind. But yeah, it was a good race.
Must say the defense and offense in that battle very clean, as hard fought as it was. To see no bumpers being dinged there. I asked Jeremy after race 1. I'll ask you, how was it trying to learn a brand new and very tricky course in a tricky car?
I mean, this course would be much better if it just wasn't so bumpy. It's very, very tricky just because of the bumpiness. So it's fine online, but as soon as you get slightly offline, your car just bounces into the grass. So I'd say it was tricky the first 25, 30 laps where you're trying to really understand the line through a lot of the corners, but once you get it down, it's not bad.
Well, you certainly seem to get it. You had the pace in race 1 and made it stick in race 2. Well done, sir.
Thank you.
I'll return you to the pool in a moment.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Let's see who else we can drag in here. Let's see. Dave wasn't in the race. Let's see if we can get Penguin in here. Yoink. Hello, Penguin, sir. Well done on pace. How did that race go for you?
There was a lot of ups and downs. I was super inconsistent on that track. It is so bumpy.
Yeah. You seem to sort of get the hang of it. I don't know if you were aware of it in the cockpit, but I don't know if there was some sort of lag or timing glitch or something, but I don't know whether you were scored on the lap you may have thought you were on. We'll have to correct that at some point. But that was some very fierce battling there at the front.
Oh yeah, Dave mentioned it, so I found out during the race that I was suddenly last place. But yeah, it was really fun having to fight those two guys that I probably stayed behind the whole time that I was. I don't even know where we're going with this, but it was definitely a lot of fun fighting those guys.
You feel like you sort of got the hang of this place over the course of the 2 races?
I would say yes, but I'm scared of the car. I don't like the track, so I'm still not too confident of it. I think I got the track down, but the car just scares me. All the bumps scare me, and it's really hard to get down. It
is 2 very tricky things brought together to make it trickier than the sum of their parts. But you did very well, and we'll probably. I think we'll probably have to review the replay and see if we can get if that was just a timing glitch. We'll see if we can get that resolved. But all in all, very good performance tonight. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Alrighty, we are going to return him to the pool, and I think that's where we're going to leave the broadcast this evening. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We're going to just, I think everybody else has left the server. So, well done to all the drivers. Thanks to everybody who came out to watch and to participate. We can't have races without people showing up to drive. I know I didn't show up to drive. I showed up to do commentary, and thanks to Plebeian for giving me the opportunity to hijack their channel for the evening and promote this event. Oh, I had chat, and I wasn't paying attention to it the whole night. I'm sorry. I was completely ignoring chat the whole time. I don't even have the window up. Well, I'm a dummy. Sorry, everybody, and maybe I'll do better with it next time. But thanks again, everyone, and come back on Saturday night, where we will be racing the Miata Cup cars in, I think, the penultimate round of that season. I don't remember where that is, but you can look it up online, plebeianracing.net. This series will be at, remind myself, Nürburgring on the Sprint GT course. This is the short course at the Nürburgring, and using the GT chicane that doesn't want to kill you. And that will be in these cars. On what is arguably their home track. So hoping for a good show there. A nice small track to keep everybody together, and we'll see what happens. All in all, an interesting run at Race City. I think perhaps the mod has some work to do to smooth out the bumps, or maybe it's accurate to real life. Who knows? But we'll have the conversations and see whether this will make a comeback to the channel. But all in all, excellent racing action from everybody who drove tonight. And thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll see you in the next one.